So, hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about this game, Fairy Tale game. What's the exact name? It's Picross Fairytale Nonogram. That's what the game is about. So, let's see how to play this game. The rules are simple. Okay, before we go into that level, let me start something here. So the rules are simple. It's a simple crossword that you need to solve, and the numbers indicate here how many squares would fill here. So we see here 5 plus 5, 10 total squares are here. That's a possibility. So either one of them on this side or on that side has to be left out. So if you think it has to be filled in this direction, so the only one can be left out here, either on the left or on the right. So I can make it as an X here. It gives me an option of X. Okay, let me show you here. Okay, it's not showing me. You can basically otherwise leave it. I did see something like that. Let me check it out. Okay, so that was in the mobile version which I was playing, where it gives you an option to yeah, here it is. It's a right click, so I can just mark it down so that I don't need to accidentally fill in this. And another thing that you need to note is, let's say this is 4 and 2, and I fill this as 4 here. So the 2 cannot start immediately after 4, so definitely it has to be a gap. So the next number has to start with a space. So it can be like this, or it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one has to be a space. And always the order is the same what is mentioned. You cannot just make it 2 here and then 4 this way. This is incorrect. You have to follow the order. So 1, 2, 3, 4 space and then 2. So there are multiple probabilities this can occur. It can be this way, or 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 it can be this way. So we don't know. So out of these 4 probabilities, one of them is correct. So by finding out which one is right ends up in solving this puzzle. Okay, so let's go ahead and start solving the puzzle. I will tell you certain tricks on how to easily solve this. It looks very difficult in the beginning, but it's quite easy. So just to reiterate, follow the order of the numbers. If it is 1 and 1, so you follow 1 and 1. So that's the same order you follow. And similarly on the column side, if it is 2, then you have to follow 1, then a space, then is 1. But there could be a multiple ways that you can follow this sequence, so you have to find out which sequence is correct. So let's start from the beginning. Let me see, how do I reset it? Reset, replay. Yeah. Okay, so on the row side, okay, when I say row side, I'm talking about left to right. This is the row side. So on the row side, it is totally 10 squares, and on the column side, which is top to bottom, is again 10 squares. Okay, if there is, so in this case, everywhere it's the same number, same total, so there is nothing to worry about. But certain times you might have 15 on the row side and 10 on the column, or maybe 15 on the column or 10 on the row, and as you progress on your levels, you might have 20 25, 25 25, or 20 20, or any combination. So in this combination, it's all the same across row and across column, and there is nothing to worry about here. So what we need to know, we know for sure that 10 is the highest, so we need to identify if there is any 10. If it is 10, we just fill it everything, no need to worry about anything, definitely it's going to be correct. So we don't have 10. Now the next probability is, highest number is 9. Okay, let's concentrate on the row side. So we don't have here, we don't have here, we don't have here, we don't have on the 4th row, we have on the 5th row. So 9 can be filled in two different ways. Either you start from the left and leave the right one empty, or you start from the right and leave the left one empty. So there is two probabilities. Whatever probability or possibility you choose, there is an overlapping in both the cases. That is from 2 till this square. So you can just drag this. So this is going to be the same. Whether you start from the left or whether you start from the right, this is going to be there for sure. So we are just going to do that. So it is still 8. So be patient till here. So same procedure we can follow here. Whether you start from the left, leave the right, or start from the right and leave the left, we don't know. But for now, for what we are sure is, this is going to overlap. So this is definitely going to happen. So the way to solve this puzzle is, you have to go very, very logically. You can't just fill anything you like. But there is an option. You can always click this I button and it will tell you if you're right, and it will show you which is correct and which is wrong. And then you can so I can just click on here, but nothing happens right now. But as you solve things, you get some points here, and once you click on it, it will tell you if you are correct. It will just mark those things correct, and these numbers will disappear. So which means you cannot alter them anymore because they are correct for sure. But we don't need to take those hints and everything. Let's solve it as a big guy. Okay, let's consider that you are very intelligent and you can definitely solve. So here we have one highest number. So this sequence is definitely going to overlap whether you choose from the left or from the right. Okay, and we have one more sequence from top to bottom on the column side. Okay, you can leave the first square. So this is going to be overlap, and this one is going to overlap. So we filled all the 9s here. Do we have anything more? No. So what's the next highest here? 8. Now for 8, there's going to be 2 cells empty. If you start from the left, this and this one is going to be empty. But if you start from the right, this one and this one is going to be empty. So we don't know. But for sure we know these squares are going to be full. That's for 8. Any more 8? So we know for sure which 2 sides will be empty. We are not sure, but the middle ones is going to be overlapped if you follow this side or this side. So the possibility definitely that's going to happen is this sequence. So I filled it that. So there is one more 8. Okay, so this is already filled up, so here it is. So we just did 8 and everything. Now as I told you, you have to follow the sequence strictly. Within the sequence there could be many possibilities, but the sequence has to be followed. So you're trying to follow a sequence. Let's say you followed the sequence this way and you completed 8, but then where will you fill this 1? You cannot put the 1 here. That's incorrect because the sequence is disturbed. So the only way you can fill this is how it is now. So the only way you can fill it is these 2 numbers again need to have a space, right? So these squares is going to be for sure. We are not going to erase them. So the only possibility you can fill this is by putting 1 here, and you have a space, and you start the second number which is 8. So the way this 8 is going to be completed is from this side, bottom side. So you completed 1 to 8 for sure. This is the correct sequence, 100%. And you can cross this square so that we don't accidentally fill this and create confusion. Now if you look at this square, this one on the left side, on the very first row, 1 and 1, maybe this is 1. If you consider this as your second one, you have to leave a space and you mark the first one. This is one possibility, or it can be this way, we don't know. Or if this is your first one, then it could be here, or it could be here, or it could be here, we don't know. So you're not going to touch that. And on the second row, you need only 2 boxes to be filled, which is already filled. So your job is done. So you can just strike off the rest of the cells on this row. Right? This is done. Now if you look at the first number here on the column side, it says 2. If you start 2 here, you cannot fill the second 2 here, right? So for sure you know that this is not going to happen. And the same applies with this. The 4 cannot be filled here in one blank. Same goes with 6. You can never fill 6 here. And 9. So it is possible this way or that way. So we leave it as it is. We leave this line. This 1 can be possible. Okay, now the 8 has an answer. The 8 cannot go on the top side. So the only way it can be formed is on the bottom. So the 8 is done. The 1 goes here. Did you observe on the very first row your 1 and 1 objective is done automatically? So you strike off the blanks. So the 1 1 is done, the 2 is done, and the third row 4 and 2. So there is already a 4, so there is no number before 4, and the 2 cannot come here. It has to be definitely behind this, right? There is no way that you can put a 4 here because there is only 2 squares to fill, even if you leave a space. So the 4 is already done. The only possibility to fill this 2 is 2 here. So you can strike off this. And 1, 6 and 1. Let's say if this is 1, and you can, if you put this as 1 and then you make a 6, there is a lot of options that you can make. So let's forget this for now. 9, we have no clue. 9 here, we have no idea how this is gonna happen, this or that side. 8 for now, no. 9, no. 4 and 6. Okay, now here is a way how you can fill this. You have already 4. This is the biggest number of this square, so definitely this belongs to the number 6. Now, so we just need 2 more blanks. So let's say if he was extending on the left side, the maximum he can go is still this point, right? So that means for sure this is never going to happen. So you can strike off that. Now let's say that if he was extending to the maximum to the right side, he can go only till here, right? So this is not going to happen. So you can confidently strike off that. So the way of filling this puzzle is not only identifying which empty slots can be filled, but also to eliminate the ones which can never happen, which can't happen actually. Okay. Now, and the same procedure can be applied here. So this is the biggest number here. On the row number 4, you have already 4 here. So it cannot belong to 1 or the 1 number. It is definitely belonging to 6. So either he has to extend on the right side. If he extends on the right side completely, let's say like this, and that's nowhere possible, because you need a space. Then how will you fill the 1 here? So that way it's not possible. Now let's say that he extends completely on the left side. Again a space, and then where will you put the first one? Again it's not possible. So let's divide it. Let's put one here and one here. Then you see a possibility of putting one on this one side, and this is the one side. This is the only possibility that you can do. That's one simple example, and there is one more trick to confirm this. Okay, if you just add up these numbers, 6 plus 1 plus 1, 7, and include now the space between 6 and 1 on the left side, and space on the between 6 and 1 again on the right side. 7, 8. 6 plus 1, 7, 7 plus 1, 8, the space, 2 spaces, 9 and 10. So this is a definite combination. There is no other combination. This is the only way that you can fill it. So we have 10 squares in total. If the sum of all numbers and sum of all spaces in between totals the total possibility, then that means that's the only way that you can fill. If I take this 1 and 8 as an example on column number 4, so if you add 1 and 8, 9, and the space is only 1, 10. So this is the only way that it can form. You can just blindly come and fill this up. You don't need to wait for which way it is going to go. That's the only way it's going to happen. Okay, now let's see ahead. Now if you see column number 1, the first number starts with 2. So this is the first number that has started, and this is only 1. So definitely this is going to be 2. So with a space, so we strike off that. And now if you see the second two numbers possibilities, either here and space and this number, or it can be here, the space and this number. So whatever number this second one takes, the third one is for sure at here, right? So we don't know what the second one is going to be. It can be here or it can be here, we don't know. So let's leave that, but this is going to happen for sure. So now if you look at the last row, the first number is 2, so this is going to be 2. Then after the first number is completed, give a space. Now what does it say? The second number is 4. Okay, I see the only possibility 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a space, because there is a number, there is already a box filled here and a box filled here. The only way that you can make sure those two numbers are valid is making it as 4. Now here the last one can be either here or here, we don't know, so let's wait. Now if you look at the last but one column which says 1, 4 and 1, you already have 1 filled up, okay, and you are trying, so then you give a space. Okay, now here 161 we have already filled it, so let's fill this empty squares. Okay, now here you have 1, so the next one is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the only space and then 1. So this is the only way you can fill this, there is no other possibility. Okay, now because we filled this, now let's again come back to the last column. So 2 is there, 4 is there, 1 is there. Okay, it automatically we got the answer, so we just put the cross on the empty one which is not required anymore. So now we have 2 here. Okay, 2 is completed, give a space, just make sure, just mark the space, we are not going to fill there. Now the next one is 1 and 1. Let's say if the 1 is here, there is a space in next one, the 1 is here. So is there a way that you can fill anything else? No. So this is the only way you can fill. Now look at here, the 9 got automatically filled from the bottom, last but 3. This 9 is automatically filled. Okay, so that means you can strike off this. Now you got an answer for the first column, 2, 1 and 1. 2 is already done, the last one is already done. We were just thinking about the 1 should be on this row or in this row. As this has got completed, then the only possibility is this. Now Okay, I think we were doing. Now this number is 8. So everything is almost done. There is one other number that needs to be filled, 6 and 1. I don't see any possibility this 1 can be filled here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and give a space. It has to be here somewhere. This is wrong. Now, so what is disturbed? 2, 1, 1. That is okay. So this is still okay. 1, 4, 1. If that is the case, this cannot exist. If this cannot exist, 2, 4, 1 is incorrect. So the only way you can put this is here. If you put this here, 2, 1, 1 is getting disturbed. So the 2, 1, 1 comes here, and the 9 goes on this side. This is the way you can form it. So the 9 is done, 6 and 1 is done, 2, 4, 1 is done, and if you look at here, the 8 is pending. We'll come to that. And this 9 is done, this 9 is done, 1, 6, 1 is done, 4, 2 is done, 2 is done, 1, 1 is done. Okay, from the top, 2, 1, 1 is done. Okay, the 4 and 1 is pending. Okay, so this sequence is incorrect. Okay, we'll come to that. And here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is perfect, 1 and 8 is perfect, 9 is perfect, 9 is perfect, 1 and 8 is perfect, 6 is perfect, 1 and 4 is not perfect. So if you take 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, this 1 is going to come here, 2, 4, 1 is going to be here, 6 is going to be here, and 1 is going to be here. 1, 1, 2, 9, 6, 1, 2, 4, 1, 6, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 and 8, 9, 9, 1, 8, 6. Okay, so the only two things now that is pending is the second column has to be 4 and 1, and here 8. So as I told you, two boxes are going to be empty, right? And we filled it here to match this 4, so it is already 4, 5, 6, 7. The only possibility I see is this one. If I do that, it's conflicting here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there has to be a space, right? So I let this go match. Now if I do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 has to be here. Yeah. So okay guys, so you know what the rules is. You fill the squares and then make sure that you mark the space so that you don't repeat them. That's rule number 1. Number 2, the sequence has to be followed for sure, and within that sequence there could be again many possibilities. You can easily figure that out, and always look for what is really logical, and that's how we can ignore the rest. I'll go quickly over one more so that okay, so this one is the row wise is 10 is the maximum, so we know this is for sure is going to be happening 10. There is no doubt in it. We don't need to spend time here. There. And you know, the first letter is 3. So it's going to be 3. The last one is 3. So this one is already done. So it has to be only this way. So this means the rest is going to be useless, right? And the same applies here. 3, and the second 3 is already, this one is taken up. So it has to be this combination. So I fill this one as blank. Now if you look at here, 1, so the 1 is already done, so it has to be a space. 1 is already done, it has to be a space. Now here 1 is already done, space. It has to be 2 because it has already started, so it has to be definitely 2. Then give a space. Okay, what else can we do here now? Okay, this one is 3, so this has to be 3. And this one is already started, so this is 3 as well. Mark the spaces, empty spaces. 1 is already done, 1 is already done, 1 is already done, 1 is already done, 1 is already done. Now go to the second row, 1, 2 and 1. It's okay, we got that automatically. Now go to the third row, 1, 2 and 1. So all this could be left empty. The fourth row, 1, 1 and 2, we don't know. If I start the second one here and give a space and put this one here and space, I can't even complete the 2. So definitely this one has to come from here. But now I can do the second one here and space, and then 2 here or here. So this 2 common portion is this one. I give a space. The 2 can be this way or the 2 can be this way. We don't know. So for sure the middle one is going to be there. So we leave it like that. And if you see on the top here, 1 and the second number is 2. So we know for sure 2 and into. And what else did we fill here? 1, and then the second number is 3. So for sure this is going to be 3. And here, if you look at the column number 2, the second number is again 1. So that is done. So just make an into. Now, if you look at row number 4, 1, 1 and 2. 1, 1 is done. The 2 we don't know which direction it's gonna go. So forget about it. Now come to the row number 5 where it is 3 and 2. Now there is 2 ways you can form this tree. You can form this way or you can form this way. We don't know. But whatever way you choose, this is the common one. So assuming I start from here, I can definitely not complete 3 here by leaving a space for the next one, right? And if I complete these 3 together, it becomes 4. So that is not possible. So definitely this is a different number. And assuming this is a space, then the 3 has to be formed in this direction, or it can be completely extending here. No matter what combination it is, we have 2 combinations. Either we start from here or we start it this way. So the common portion is this one, so we just do till this point. We don't know whether this one or this one. So the 3 is done, so definitely this is a space. No, we cannot say for sure. It can be a 2-1. It can be a 2-1 this way. So we don't know. So for sure this we know. So 3 is done. Because the 2 can be on this side or it can be on this side. So we don't know. So we don't touch the 3 and 2. The next one is 2 and 1. So we don't know. This 2 can be formed here and a space, or the 2 can be here or here. We don't know. There's a lot of combinations possible. so we don't touch this for now. Okay, now you look at this number, the column number 4. It says the first number has to be 3. That's already done. The second number has to be 11. So we already know this is a definite number that's going to be forming for 3, and it says 11. Let's count how many we have. And this one is already done, so that means it has to start from here. So the 5 and the 10, so the 11. It's done for us. And here the starting number is 2, so which means this is not there, this is not there, so definitely this is not there. The next one can be this and this, don't know. Now if you look at this one, the 1 and 2, if I consider here as 1 with a space, I can't form the 2, right? And I can't go further on the left side, so the 1 can never be formed here. Even with a space, the 2 cannot come, so this is not possible at all. So the 2 can come in many ways here, so we leave it that one. Here the first number is 2, so I can form 2 here, I can form 2 here, so we don't want to dwell with this. And 1 can also come with many ways. And this one is 1 and 2. Yeah, I can just do 1 here, space, and 2, or 1 space 2 on this side, so too many ways. Now if I take this as 2, first number, I can't leave a space, right? And if I consider this as 2, it's still possible with a space, or this way again space. So this we are not touching it. Here the first number is 3, it can be this way, we don't know, or it can be this way, we don't know, or it can be this way, we don't know, because we still have space, and then we can give a 2 here, so every combination is possible. And 1, 1 and 2, this is also not possible. Here the first number 1 is done, the space is already done. See, when you mark all these things, that way you can be very confident that okay, nothing is going to come here. So 1 is done, the second number is 2, it can be this or that, so we don't know. 2 is done, the second number has to be 4, so we have a starting point, so that means it has to complete 4. And the third number is 1, which is already done, so this has to be marked, which means you're not going to fill anything up there. Now if you look at these numbers on the top, the last number is 2. If you look at the column number 5, 1, 3, 1, 2, 2, the last number is 2, which is already done, so this has to be a space. And here on the column number 6, the last number is 2, which is already done, and here the last number is 2, which is already done, so this has to be a space, so mark the space, we don't need to fill here accidentally. And what else? Now we go back on the column, 3 and 3 is done, 1, 1, 2 is done, so we don't know which one is here. There's a lot of way possible, and here 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. So if I consider 1, 1 is coming here, and another one is, we have 4 ones, so the second one here, space, third one, space, fourth one, oh, we have again a blank space, so it's very difficult. Oh, the fourth one is already done, so we just have 3 ones, so 1 space, 1 space, 1. Oh, there's a lot of combination, forget about it. 3 and 11 is done, and here you see 1, 3, 1, 2, 2. Okay, even if I start immediately 1, 3, 1, space, 2, 2, so this 2 can be this way, it's very difficult. So it can be this way, space 2, so we don't need to deal with this. Okay, now there is a way you can crack this. Now let's say 1 and 3 is done. Now the next number is 1, If you put 1, this is acceptable, and then 2 2, let's say that this is space, it is possible. Now you might think the 1 can be here, right? If you put this here, the first number is 1 and this will conflict, or maybe not. It's better we leave this. 1 3 1 2 2. Okay, now here 1 and the next is 1 and 1. We don't know which. There is a lot of combination, so you ignore this. And here on row column number 7, 1 7 2. 1 and 2 is done. We have to find 7. So even if you start immediately 1 2 and 7, this is how it forms. Now if you form at the last, it will form from here till end. So the common portion is this. So we just leave 7 like this with 5. We don't know which side the 2 comes, additional 2. So 1 and 7, 7 has to be done. Now if you look at this number 2 and 1, so this can be 2 this side or that side for sure. This is a space then, and this one is a space because this is 1, so this can be done. And now if you look at here, this is 1, so this can be marked, and the 2 can be either this side or that side, but this can be marked. Now if you look at this one, this is the row number 10, 2 and 1. 2 can be here or here, but this can be marked, and then this one is 1, so for sure we don't have any more. Okay, now 1 2 and 2. Okay, the only way this can be filled is this way, 1 2, and this way as 2. So we mark this one. And if you look at here, this number is 3 1 1 1 1 1 1, right? We mark the space for sure, and any other spaces that we can mark. Okay, 1, and this has to be a 2, so 2 space. 1 2 is done. 1 1 has to be done, so the 1 has to come here somewhere. We'll think about it later. 3 and 3. So here it has to be 2 and 1, anyway possible. 1 and 2, anyway possible. 2 and 1, anyway possible. 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2, this or this. This cannot be possible. 2 and 1, so we can mark this. 3 on this side or on that side. If it goes this side, the 2 is possible this side. So we leave this here. 1 1 and 2 this or this side. Okay, 3 2 space. 3 here. 1 1 and 2. 1 1 and the last number is 2. The only way, and space. And if you fill 1 1 and 2, so it can be here or here. So 1 1 1 2. Now let's go back again. Column 3 is done. 1 1. We have any way possible here. 3 1 1. 2 ones. We don't know which way it is. 3 and 11 is done. 1 3 1 2 2 1 2 2. So this 2 is done. The only space where you have 2 can be filled is this one. So 2 2 is done. So 1 3 1 2 2, so this is a definite one. Now you gotta fill this. Now if you come at here, now the first number is 3, so the 3 can be this side or on that side, so definitely this cannot be filled. Even it fills this side, space and 2. Okay, if the 3 comes this side, space, there is no room for 2, so the 2 has to be here, space and 3. This is the only combination possible. Now look at here, 3 and 4 ones. 3 is done from the bottom, 1 2 3 4, so this one has to be a space, right? You cannot put an immediate number, so the only way either this or this, so we still have one number to go. Okay, now come out here, 3 ones and 2, 1 2, third one is missing, so the only room here we have, and here 3 and 4 ones, 3, so the first one can come in any box here, so we forget it for now. Okay, this 2 and 1 is completed. You see this 2 and 1, so this is striked off, so definitely, so then this one can be of this one, 3 1 1 1 2, so we have 4 ones, and this automatically fills this 3 and 2, so the 2 can come here or on this side, so for sure this is not going to be, because that's again a space. Now here 1 1 is done, 2 can be here or here, we don't know. So what else is left? All the rows are done except this one, 1 1 and 2. Oh yeah, 1 1 and 2 is done, so we square it off. So can we fill this now? Triple 1 and 2, 1 2 is done, so we just need 2 more ones, so the only rooms we have is here. Now because we filled this, so this fills this one, 1 is done, first number, the second 2 is done, so this is not going to come. This 2 is done, this 1 is done, this 1 is done, this 2 is done, this is not going to come. So the only row number 4 and 5 is left out, 1 1 2 and 3 and 2. 3 is done. Now 2 either can be this side or that side. Now 1 1 is done. Now the 2 can be this side or that side. Now whatever side you do, we don't know. Look, both looks to be similar. For the third number of 2, oh sorry, this was an accident. So now we have to see how this is going to affect the column. The column says 1 and then 2 and then 2 and then 1. Now here 1, you need a 1 again, and then 2 and then 1. So it has to fill this. If I fill on the top, the first fourth row gets satisfied, right? 1 1 and 2, and the column gets satisfied too. Hey, we forgot this one, 1 7 and 2, the column number 7, 1 7 and 2, 1 is done, 7 has to be there, and 2. If we filled this, the common as 5, why didn't we leave this? This is the only possibility. 7, oh sorry, it is already filled with 5 plus 1, 6, yeah, so it has to be the only possibility, so square it off. So 1 1 and this is 2, you fill this, and 3 and 2 is already done, so, and then 1 1 2 1, so this one satisfies the second one here on the column 9, and here this one this 2 satisfies here, so this is the answer. So guys, you know how to solve this. It's so simple, not so difficult. Just follow the rules, go with logic, and you can definitely solve it.